next, the Broncos and Browns are set to do battle in a series that's been dominated by Denver. They'll look to make it 13 wins in their last 14 against Cleveland. It's Week 7, and the action is just moments away.
We're in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Denver offense ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback. His first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
You often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Another try after the first down sack. Bridgewater. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you look?
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. What a great job getting pressure here on the first drive. 3 plays and already 2 sacks.
And that pressure has been intense right from the beginning. And I'm telling you, if they don't make an adjustment in play calling and protection, it'll go from intense to relentless.
Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's a punt return touchdown of 56 yards. And the Browns have taken the early lead. They get the stop defensively, force the punt, and they score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing and playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense like, look, you don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your...
They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And for the first time, here comes the Cleveland Browns offense. Quarterbacked by Baker Mayfield, fourth-year man from Oklahoma.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 46. Following the interception, Mayfield eluding the pressure right. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Chubb with a carry on 1st down. It's not going to yield much, maybe a yard. It's 2nd down. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Mayfield on play action. Escaping the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. They'll give it to Chubb, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Mayfield. And he's got his tight end. It's Hooper for the Browns touchdown. Austin Hooper, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver's offense now set to go. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. John Johnson, leading tackler for the Rams last year, in on the stop.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
Second and 10. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Here's Bridgewater. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Bridgewater to Fant, first down Broncos. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now Gordon on first down. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. The numbers a week ago from Melvin Gordon. 22 carries, 75 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game short week, you know, he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it 2nd and 7. Here's Bridgewater. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only one so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
Well, it certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
2nd down, here's Chubb again.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage. It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made them pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mayfield now. They'll go screen here to Hunt. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Oh, look at the juke. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
41 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
We both know it's difficult, but they made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line. Throwing, Mayfield. He completes it to Beckham. Touchdown! Odell Beckham, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Browns add on to their lead.
Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that, because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try to mount a comeback.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and that makes the score 21-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. KJ Hamler returning it. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. That catch good for only a couple.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Throwing again on second down. Bridgewater.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Bridgewater finding Jeudy there for the Bronco first. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Jeudy. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over it, and they got there to break that one up.
They'll throw again. Bridgewater. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
And that's checked down to Gordon.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Sterling Hoffrichter now.
As he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Landry again, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Dancing to his left. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt you...
Now Mayfield lost the football, and they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt.
KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos.
This is fielded at the 27.
Let's go, baby.
So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Some good games to look forward to in the early window, especially the one in Baltimore. A big one coming up for the Ravens as they'll square off against the Cincinnati Bengals. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the Detroit Lions. And finally, on Monday Night Football, a good one in the NFC. Saints and Seahawks live from Lumen Field in Seattle. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Broncos. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Browns, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments being made in the locker room. We're just about set for the second half from Cleveland. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the halftime break behind us, and we are back underway with the third quarter of action. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So here are the Browns to take over. They were losers a week ago to Arizona, but they're on top here as they start this drive with a 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Hunt. And some room to maneuver. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the run, this is Hunt. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 38, Mayfield. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Come on, fellas. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
This is Hunt. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly, and this one could be coming back. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40.
47 is the mic. 47 is the mic. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they let you play.
A run for Nick Chubb. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Now Mayfield lost the football. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4.
Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's 2nd and goal.
To throw, Mayfield.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
47.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And his kick is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT.
And the lead is now 24. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Taken at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Denver's offense ready to go again. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Now Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Signed in the offseason, Jadeveon Clowney. Everywhere he goes, people expect to see what we just saw. Him chasing quarterbacks and putting them on the deck. He's been around in this league a number of different places, but in each spot, the expectation is that he may get double-digit sacks.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Another try after the first down sack. Bridgewater toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's going to drop this one down to Gordon.
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns.
You've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
And really, you can't have a better situation than this. First and goal at the 1.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Mayfield keeps it himself. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. Baker Mayfield with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year.
And the Browns are looking like they'll move to 6-1 as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Hamler now to return it. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos.
And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Being chased, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
After the sack on first down, Bridgewater to the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And taken at the 46.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return.
And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. And now the Browns coming out on the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating. and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Oh, Chubb fumbled it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Bridgewater now after the fumble recovery. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Bridgewater now from the 50.
And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
Myles Garrett, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. 3rd and long now after the sack. And we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
A 1st down throw for Bridgewater.
And he's taken in by the tight end Fant.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Let's go.
Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They run. Chubb. And he's got this down to the 35.
76 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey,
they run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. Pushes him over. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
Oh, I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating, even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground, but both really started to come in sync. So for Cleveland, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Pittsburgh Steelers.